Dragi naši wine trackeri, vinofili, nastavljamo ovu mini putešestviju u Friuliju, znači posle jučerašnjeg, znači prve naše destilerije. Moram priznati, nije bilo lako, izborili smo se nekako, tu je bilo svega, ne znam, probaj, ne znam, ovo je muskato, a šta misliš o proseku, kako je ova rezerva 8 godina, kako je, ne znam, ova antika koje, pa smo imali dve premijere. Bukvalno, znači, ta 28 godina grapa i premijeru, bukvalno Elizabeta, vidjeli ste u videu, donela od kuće, što bi se reklo. To izlazi sad 10 godina, odležava pikolit, fenomenalna je grapa. I onda smo svašta tu nešto amaro jedan, amaro drugi, ono, bilo je tvrdo, moram priznati, ali mi to trekujemo, iznosimo. I evo nas ovde, što se kaže, u vinariji. Znači, nastavljamo naš wine tracker put i nalazimo se ovde u Via di Romansu, znači jednoj, ajde kažemo, premium vinarija, možda je od najboljih iz Friulija, ove što se tiče proizvodnje belih vina, i tu ćemo malo da ih posetimo. Oni imaju i radove, stari podrum, prave pored toga novi podrum, radi se uveliko. Malo ćemo sa Laurom Zanini i njihovim eksport menadžerom da pričamo, pa će nam se pridruži i Galo, vlasnik, pa ćemo da prođemo, malo da gledamo. U stvari ne znam kakav je plan, pa ajmo da vidimo šta su spremili za nas. Okay, let's go some basic things for the people who don't know nothing about Via di Roma. What is the... Where we are now?
Well, now we are in Mariano del Friuli, which is a village in the province of Gorizia. We are in appellation Isonzo. Isonzo is Friuli Isonzo, actually. It's the appellation of our area. It's a very small one. It's an appellation that covers only flat land, no hillside. And we are basically on a plateau, which is about 30 meters above sea level. So, and this is, you know, the appellation takes the name from the river Isonzo. And it's actually divided into different areas. The northern area is where we are, is where the soil has also a little bit of clay, while the southern part of the appellation is where they generally have more chalk and less clay in the soil. But to understand exactly where you are, where we are, is let's start from the geography. So this is north, and the Alps are about 1 hour drive from here. Actually, 1 hour drive, you have crossed the Alps and you are in Austria. In 40 minutes, you are at the first slopes of the Alps. And this direction is east, and 5 kilometers in this direction, you are already in Slovenia. So we are right on the border.
Yeah.
And south is this direction, it's Mediterranean Sea, so the Adriatic, and it's only 20 kilometers away. And west, like this, is 100 kilometers is Venice. So we are in the most easternmost part of Italy, and the region is squeezed between the Alps. You can see the Alps here now, and the sea. And the Alps, they create a kind of arch, north and east, and they slope down to, you know, the east side. They protect the region from the coldest weather that comes from the north. And in this way, you know, the climate here is very, very peculiar, and it's probably one of the things that affects more the characteristics of our wines. Because of the latitude here, we are on the 46th parallel, which means Macon area in Burgundy, or Oregon's state, you know, Willamette Valley, or in the other hemisphere is the southern part of New Zealand, Otago area. Here we are on the 46th parallel, so it's quite north. The Alps are very close, but at the same time we are also very close to the Mediterranean Sea. And the result is that we have these two different climates that are merging basically. And translated into a glass of wine, this means that the wines, they always have a nice lively acidity, a lot of minerality, and this kind of vertical backbone that comes from the cold continental climate. And then you have this concentration and richness in fruit that comes from the Mediterranean climate, and they are fused together in a single wine. So that's the most peculiar thing. And thinking about that, you have to think that you never have a 50-50 situation. So the climate, some vintages are definitely Mediterranean, some others are definitely very cold, some others are slightly more Mediterranean or slightly more continental. So there's a variability across the vintages, which makes wines more interesting. Yeah. On the other hand, you always find certain characteristics in all the wines, no matter what vintage you are tasting.
Uvijek me opominju, evo vinofili, nemoj to, budi kulturan, budi fin. Idemo dole, idemo dole. Do we all these things moving there?
No. Huh? The production stays there.
Here. Okay, super.
No, as I said, there is only offices, hospitality, and underground the cellar with barrels. Okay.
But be careful, you know.
Well, we can stop here just to say a few words about the structure. Well, this cellar was built in 1990, and it was enlarged twice. So that's the reason why we actually, at this point, we needed, to rethink the entire concept. The cellar is based on 3 levels. The ground level is where we do the vinification, and there's a lab, as you see.
You finish the harvest with the red and...
Matteo, come siamo con la raccolta? Finito i rossi? Chiuso tutto. Okay, we have 1 level underground is where we have the warehouse, and 2 level underground is now is a second warehouse. Before it was where we kept the barrels.
And for example, 64 hectare, how is usually production?
The average is 300,000 bottles a year. So the yields are very low. If you think there's a maximum of 1 kilo per plant, and with vineyards that have between 6,000 plants per hectare up to 7,800 plants per hectare. But very low yields. There's a lot of selection, and then it happens some vintages that the conditions force us to do more selection. So.
Do you have the plan to have more vineyards, to buy, or how is the deal?
We have to ask Gianfranco about that. Yeah. Maybe Matteo knows something.
Matteo maybe knows something. I don't want to say that.
Which is better not to put it on record for now.
Of course, we are going to increasing the number of hectares, but
very
slowly.
Yeah, of course. The new building is not something that will bring. We are not doubling the structure.
The double philosophy.
We double only the surface of the concrete, but not the surface of the hectares.
Okay.
We just needed to be a little bit more comfortable.
I ask because we have the fun. They are asking, we have this Chardonnay. Yes, be patient.
Right.
This is for Baltasar, this Chardonnay, no, this Sauvignon.
This is all for Baltasar.
Okay. So there is.
Yeah, but this is the new vintage, the one that you have.
21, we are waiting. Where is the merch, my mamma mia. We now going from this new,
Yes,
in the new cellar.
Connected.
This is the underground channel that connects the 2 buildings.
The only part we can see and visit is the barric.
Okay, I understand, no problem.
The rest of the buildings they are
Let's bring the whole barric to this place.
Last year, before the harvest starting, we bought the barrels. So last year we already aged the wines in this area. It's the second year we use this.
Okay. Znači sad smo u donjem delu novog dela ove vinarije Vinoteka.
Now you can see the vaporization system. This to restore humidity. We must maintain humidity at 85%.
Why? Personally, from the beginning, I'm from Vieris, I like this type. But when we start to working Pierre, it's an easy way you can detect this is Sauvignon, you know. It's on the first, you know. And
Pierre is more immediate.
Immediately, yeah.
And it's easier, it has an easier approach even for people with not big knowledge about wine.
Yeah.
Vieris is more for connoisseurs, more for people who have already an experience, you know, with Sauvignon.
That means like turn, you know, philosophy to going to take more berries, you know, and to be like have it in Tony Magellan if you prepare in restaurants, you know, to have berries because it's very complex, it's very, very structured, you know. And you don't have from Italy so many Sauvignon in this style, you know. We speak about the style of Italian wine, you know. This is nice.
Okay, we can go on with the 2008.
Nema pljuske.
Samo te gledam. Kad ćeš?
Pa ne znam ni ja pitam.
Ko te ne zna?
Nešto mi centar malo zakazao, ali centar se drži, Boga mi ovdje. Bitno da nam je vezna linija i zadnja linija jaka, daćemo kad tad gore, razumiješ, ali bitno da ga ne primimo. Jeli, mišlju, to negdje ispravljeno.
Filozofija. Ako kaniš pobediti, ne znaš izgubiti.
Kad tad se centarfori probude, razumiješ, kad tad ono se da neki godičak.
Ja sam ti rekla da možda računaš na neki igrača.
Mi sa klube smo tu da ustučimo kad god treba.
Tako je.
Izginemo ko ljudi.
Pokrijemo te pozicije.
Gledaj, šta im je ovo klimat?
To je to što smo pričali od tih 6 šardoneja koji je izašla ta prva 16. i sad će da izađe 20. sa 6 parcela i ista tehnika rada, tehnologija, isto odležavanje. I to smo imali par prilika da probamo kako se zove šardone. Ako ti je interesantno, možda i pitamo. Tony asked me about this climate, you know.
Yes.
What you think maybe to open one bottle just to see?
Yes, of course.
Just to see philosophy.
Well, actually, abbiamo ancora quelle aperte.
6 pozicija, radimo su jednu seriju samo onako premium za privatne kupce. Prodaje se kao 6 različitih pozicija šardoneja, mi smo imali prilike probamo i stvarno je fantastično jer je vidi razlika od vinograda do vinograda.
I ovo su samo nazivi vinograda.
Tako, to su nazivi vinograda, tehnika održavanja potpuno identično za svaki i kad ovako probaš što smo imali ovo jedan po dva prilike da probamo, stvarno vidiš koja je to razlika od pozicije vinograda, ta strana, ova strana, da li ne znam. Ne, nijedno i oni su izvukli iz podruma, nije sad ovo, to je tasting, znaš, nije iz frižidera, tako da ovo je dom iz podruma, ovo je sad 2008.
Sì, sì.
I sad dospio, ovo je 14 godina.
Znači già.
Vidi koliko je to još čisto.
Znaš po čemu se jedino razlikuje, bar po ovim informacijama iz ove knjige, dužina maceracije. Dužina maceracije i fermentacije se razlikuje od vinograda do vinograda, sve ostalo je isto.
A šta je sad ovo što pijemo? 2000?
To je 8. A vidi koliko još to ima svežini u ustima.
Svežini?
Strukturu. Znači ovo mora još, ne znam, do 10 godina bez problema. Iz ove situacije. Kiselina je još vrlo postojana, vrlo je tu, a ima tela, ima sve. This 2008, it's fantastic. Really fantastic.
And it's still, you know, very lively and no sign of decrease of any. And I love these wines that the nose it becomes so extremely mineral. All the fruitiness is turned into these tensorized aromas that are typical.
The color is very interesting.
Yeah.
Deep yellow with green touch inside.
It still keeps that green once again.
Yeah. Znači ovo je Sauvignon 14 godina star, 2008, Vieris, fantastično.
And imagine this is a cellar temperature, so if it was just a little bit cooler, it would be...
You should just have that, yes.
We're not opening these bottles very often, so we don't keep them in the fridge. because if you leave them, more than one or 2 weeks in the fridge, they actually, the quality drops in the wine, so that's why we bring them only from the cellar.
Allora nel passato c'era il mare proprio molto
Što ti sad, evo, znači potpuno je, znači ona 6 litra.
La mineralità viene dal fatto che il terreno stramato da montagna con le rocce dolomitiche e quelle hanno ovviamente minerali.
Rukica i drveta sa
Ima jak nos i ospeti više minerala.